Hi everybody, Heather from New Zealand. Today we're going to look at day 28 of the Fly Lady system. We're getting very close to the end, and today is something that you're going to do for yourself, for your health, and it's a really important one, so keep watching. So as always on these videos, if this is the first time you've watched one of these Fly Lady videos, we're on a journey. We started at day 1, we're now up to day 28, and we'll be going to day 31 and then beyond, using and working the principles that the Fly Lady has come up with to improve our lives and our order and create wonderful habits so we live a more fulfilling life. It's in particular focusing on keeping a lovely environment in our homes. So if you would like to, please subscribe to this channel and push the bell. If you're wanting to do this system yourself and take action on these things, which is the only way you'll get results, please go back to step 1. You'll see, I will put cards up there for you to click on to get the link to go to those videos. But in the meantime, watch this one. This step today is actually one that you can do at any stage, really. The Fly Lady has put it on to day 28, but I think it's one of the most important ones for our health with the Fly Lady system. And it's all about water, drinking enough water. Now, this is an area that I know a lot of people struggle with, and I've struggled with it for a lot of my life. I'm totally addicted to tea, so if this step was, are you drinking enough tea in the day? The answer would be yes, absolutely. For others of you it might be, are you drinking enough coffee? You may be, but the real question is, are you drinking enough water? So this is a habit we really want to get into, about looking after ourselves, because the benefits of water are just, I mean, they're well known. You have more energy, your skin's clearer, you feel happier, it lifts your mood, it affects every organ in your body. You're mostly water, so the more of you can drink, the better. Now, there's certain tricks to the trade, and everybody has a different way of doing it. One thing that the Fly Lady suggests, and I think this is genius, she puts rubber bands on her water bottle, and so you would decide how many refills you wanted to give yourself for this bottle in the day. Each time you finish a bottle, take a rubber band off. Take a rubber band off, and then you know how many you've got left to do, and you know when you've reached the goal for today for however many bottles of water you want to drink today. So that might be something that's really helpful for you. I personally, I'm not a great fan of sipping a bottle. I don't know why, maybe because when I grew up we didn't have these around all the time. So I'll put that out the way. I much prefer to drink it out of a glass. What I do is first thing in the morning, before anything else, before a cup of tea, before breakfast, I have a glass of water. I glug it down, because that's for me the quickest way to get it in. I glug it down, and then I'll have one, I try to have one 10 minutes before my meal to help me feel a little bit full before I start eating. So throughout the day I will have, my normal routine is that I have one when I wake up, one 10 minutes before breakfast, then I'll have one at morning tea, I'll have one 10 minutes before lunch, I'll have one afternoon tea, I'll have one 10 minutes before dinner, and I'll have one before I go to bed. That gives me 7, and then when I can I will fit the other in depending on what my day holds. If I'm at home I can squeeze that in at any time. If I'm going out to work, what I tend to do is, rather than have to worry about where do I fit that extra one in, I take it just before I leave the house. So that's another time. You could do it just before you leave the house and when you come back. So that's my routine that I found. I actually, we don't live on town water, we get fresh rainwater, and you develop a taste for that, and when you go into town the water tastes a bit chemically, so I like, and I know some people actually like to buy their water because they prefer the taste of it. So what I do, instead of having a bottle with me, is I actually take a cup and I take my bottle like this in here, and I know that this cup holds half a bottle. So you know that's going to give me 2 drinks of nice water while I'm out and about, and that just goes. I hold that in my car. So that's a system I found that works for you. For me, you need to find a system that works for you. Another thing I do, because I don't like cold water in my mouth. I don't know if my teeth are sensitive or it's just a preference. So I will fill it up to about here with cold water, and then I'll put a little bit of boiling water on top and give it a mix, and then I can glug it down easier. Cold water I find I need to kind of sip, and I tend not to finish the glass. Another thing I do, which again you may or may not like to take on board, is I squeeze a bit of lemon into it, especially that first one in the morning. I just find that, it just feels so nice and clean, and you know, whatever it takes to get that water down, find out what works for you. Another thing to remember is to put it in your control journal. Write it down so you don't forget and so you can tick it off. Write down, are you drinking your water? You may want to put it in certain times of the day, or maybe one note is enough for you. Get this down in your control journal, because now we've got a lot of things going on, a lot of extra things that we're taking on, and you can't expect yourself to keep it all in your head. So please write that down in your control journal, drinking water. Make sure you're drinking that water. How have you been doing with planning your meals? Have you been able to do that? What's for dinner tonight? Have you got that sorted? Maybe you already have something defrosting on the bench for tonight's dinner. I don't know. Maybe you're that organised. Good on you if you are. We're having a lentil curry tonight, so I've got the packet of beans sitting there on the bench. The packet of lentils, sitting there on the bench, reminding me to cook those a little bit earlier in the day, so I'm ready for this evening. So I hope you've got that in your control journal as well. You know, plan what your dinner is. Write that down. Well, that's it for day 28. Not a whole load to take on, but a very important step for looking after yourself, to drink that water. Please, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to keep making these videos, and it also helps you to not miss any that are coming up. Because when we finish these 31 days, we'll be going on to different levels of the Fly Lady. So if you subscribe and push the bell, as I load those up, you'll get notified about those. And please, questions. I'm really open to questions. There may be areas that I'm not explaining very well. There may be problems that you're having along the way that if we discuss them in the comments section, others may be experiencing the same things, or actually may be able to help you. It may be something that I've dealt with myself in my life, and I may be able to help as well. So please feel free to leave comments, and let's get all connected while we all support each other to do the Fly Lady system.